Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Spicer and I'm a Limey. I'm not a doctor, so nothing I say here should be taken as medical advice. And I'd just like to start out this video by saying that I don't have a lot of experience on this topic, so most of what I say is based on things I've read. The reason I don't have a lot of experience in this area is because I just happened to be born in that sweet spot where, though I did have metal fillings in my baby teeth, by the time my adult teeth came in, the dental industry had already switched to composite fillings. So while I'm sure I do have some heavy metal toxicity as Limeys tend to, I probably don't have it to the same extent that those with amalgam dental fillings do. Because of that, it hasn't been a main focus of my Lyme disease recovery plan. I've also noticed, as I've been learning more about this topic, that I may have actually been detoxing heavy metals without knowing it, as the detox methods that work for Lyme toxins tend to have a lot of crossover with those used for heavy metal detox. They may even possibly be one and the same thing, as heavy metals are a main component in Lyme disease biofilms. Some attributes that heavy metal toxins share with Lyme biotoxins are that they're fat-soluble, they tend to accumulate in the brain, causing grave neurological symptoms, and they're tough to remove from the body. The good news is that Lyme detox is a good education for heavy metal detox. Toxic heavy metals include mercury, lead, copper, nickel, zinc, aluminum, manganese, cadmium, chromium, cobalt, silver, antimony, and thallium, among others. As you've probably noticed, some of these are not only safe but actually necessary in small amounts for the normal functioning of the human body. However, certain factors can cause heavy metal deposits in our bodies to reach dangerous levels. For example, working in a factory or occupation that makes liberal use of heavy metals, long-term exposure to lead paint or lead pipes in old buildings, getting amalgam dental fillings, eating fish caught in waters contaminated by mercury, and of course, having a chronic infection that utilizes heavy metals for its survival within the body. Even people who don't have Lyme disease should be careful with exposure to heavy metals because they create a higher risk for diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. However, those of us with Lyme have a greater motivation to clear our bodies of heavy metals. They're the glue that helps to keep our infections and symptoms in a chronic state. We should also note that where you find lots of mercury, you find lots of yeast. So if you're having issues with yeast infections, as many Limeys do, you may need to address these two issues simultaneously if you want to get clear of either. They go hand in hand. Freeing your body from toxic heavy metals is a complicated and potentially dangerous process. So if you attempt it, you really need to know what you're doing and preferably be under the care of a doctor who is well versed in this topic. If you don't, you might be better off avoiding this aspect of treatment until you feel ready and have all the pieces in place. It's kind of like the analogy of the wasp nest that I used in my video about biofilms. If you have a wasp nest in your house, you do need to get it out, but you better be prepared because once you start, there's no turning back. I'd also suggest that if your treatment is working, producing a regular cycle of herxing and improvement, don't attack heavy metal deposits until you have to, meaning until you've cleared away all you can and are starting to plateau and wonder what to do next. So, all that being said, let's take a look at what heavy metal detox looks like in real life. Before you start, of course, you need to get out of whatever situation is causing the toxicity in the first place. If you have metal fillings, get them replaced. If you live in a house with lead paint or lead pipes, move. Even change your job if you have to. After removing any ongoing cause, heavy metal detox falls into two alternating steps. Step 1. Dislodging heavy metals from where they're stored in your body. They will be processed through your liver and deposited into the bile. Step 2. Taking binders and chelators that attach to the metals in your bile and throughout your body and help to carry them out without letting them be reabsorbed through your intestinal tract. Of course, you can take binders even when you haven't tried dislodging metals or breaking up biofilms, and indeed many Limeys do this on a regular basis. I do. It's a main component to Lyme disease detox and very important to clean up the toxins floating around in our systems. Some examples of binders are activated charcoal, clays, fiber, cholestyramine, and apopectin. Dietary fats can also help remove toxins and rebuild damaged tissue. Chelators, like binders, attach to the metals and help carry them from the body. But they go one step further than binders in that they enter the bloodstream rather than just working within the digestive system. They can start the work of dislodging the heavy metals from where they're tied up, and in this way serve as an intermediary between the two steps of the treatment. They might not be as good at carrying the metals out as they are at dislodging them, so it's important to take binders along with chelators. Remember that releasing the heavy metals into your bloodstream can make you feel very ill and can potentially be very dangerous. Some examples of chelators are ALA, DMPS, DMSA, EDTA, some forms of silica, some forms of humic acid, chlorella, cilantro, and some forms of zeolite. Now let's take a look at step 1, the hardcore dislodging of the metals. This is done by supplementing zinc. Dislodging metal deposits is the far more dangerous step. If you're not careful, you risk simply redistributing the toxic metals throughout your body, which will not just make you feel terrible, but will leave you in a worse situation than when you started. So, as with most aspects of Lyme treatment, start slow, know what you're doing, and work with a doctor. Zinc plays an important role in heavy metal toxicity. In too great amounts, it can be a toxic metal itself. But what often happens in chronically ill people is that other toxic heavy metals like mercury and lead compete for and occupy the spaces in your body where a healthy level of zinc would normally help it function as it should. That means that those with heavy metal toxicity may need to replace the zinc they lack and allow it to reoccupy those spaces, kicking out the toxic heavy metals and helping return your body to balance. As you can imagine, this can be quite an upheaval. You may feel both worse and better as your body simultaneously gets the zinc it so desperately needs and is flooded with toxic heavy metals. You may find yourself fighting off infections that your body didn't have the tools to fight before. Then, just as mercury and lead compete with zinc, you might find that zinc is competing with copper. So you need to make sure that you don't have a copper deficiency or copper toxicity. Here's just a couple of notes before we close. During metal detox, you may benefit from other detox methods such as foot baths, saunas, herbs with detoxification properties, and drinking lots of water to keep regular. You may also want to give your liver special support during this laborious process with substances such as milk thistle, dandelion, artichoke, licorice, and curcumin. These should be rotated over time. If you don't notice any reaction when implementing the treatments discussed in this video, it may be possible that you don't have heavy metal toxicity and don't need to treat it. But the more toxicity you have, the more dangerous it will be and the more careful you will have to be. Please remember that this video is just a place to start, discuss main points, and raise awareness about this issue. If you want to take this step, you will need to learn more, so please read extensively and work together with a doctor who knows what they're doing. Most of the information I've shared in this video I learned from Brian Rosner's book, Freedom from Lyme Disease. Brian himself recommends a book entitled Amalgam Illness, Diagnosis and Treatment by Andrew Cutler, which can be found on Brian's website, lymebook.com. So that's it for today, Lymies. Be careful and keep on fighting until it's over.